What is your take on the recent price action we've seen in natural gas, in particular what we've seen in Dutch wholesale prices?
Well, good morning. And there's no doubt that the European natural gas markets in general, the Dutch and German markets in particular, find themselves distressingly short of gas in storage and gas on tap. And we're really only in the opening phases of what could be a very long winter period here. So the markets are primed to over respond to the merest indication of a shortfall in supply or a big draw on stocks. And we've seen both those things in the last couple of days.
What about Russia? I just was, updating on the state of the Yamal Europe pipeline there, but just talk to us about what you think Russia has been doing over the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think the thing about the natural gas markets is they've become as politicized and frankly a little bit weaponized as the oil markets have been for 30 or 40 years now. And Russia is the central figure in the weaponization and politicization of the natural gas markets, partly by design and partly because it's been cast that way by commentators in other political circles in other parts of the world. But what has Russia been doing? Well, it's very clear that Russia wants to get this pipeline loaded and supplying natural gas to Germany, ensuring that it is the key pivotal crucial supplier of gas to Europe for a decade or decades to come. Now, there's a little moment of resistance here where Europe is umming and ahhing and has not quite got all the approvals in place necessary to get everything up and running in the final analysis. The US has been very critical of the project, as your viewers will know. And so it's no surprise, really, that Russia is demonstrating this significant impact it already has on the gas markets over the last 2 months. As you mentioned in your run-up here, some gas is reverse flow recently is flowing into Russia, not towards Europe. So Russia is already indicating that if you think you're worried about being dependent on Russian gas, you're already dependent on Russian gas. So what's the issue?
Well, what about Nord Stream 2? I mean, clearly that is the big question mark that hangs in the balance right now. The approval, the certification process has been paused by German regulators. Seems to be, they're framing it as more of an administrative issue. When is it realistic to expect that pipeline to be operational? And is it your expectation that ultimately it does get certified?
Well, one of the underlying issues here is there really isn't enough natural gas in the world right now. So from a pure supply-demand fundamentals perspective, there's not enough supply to meet demand in the big demand centers that exist, including Europe, right? So it would seem that the fundamental requirement of Europe to have this gas supplied to it will ultimately be the inexorable driver that will lead to some kind of technical approval to be put in place. This project is largely done. It's been built, it's ready to go. We will all be seeing our gas bills going up 30, 40, 50% or more in 2022. And I think the public pressure for more affordable energy at the end of the day will be a little bit overwhelming, but the geopolitical impact will be massive, no doubt about it.
Well, when it comes to LNG, it's always been touted as, a more flexible energy source than some other traditional options. But, it doesn't actually feel like it's particularly flexible. And as you said, there's just not enough to go around right now.
Actually, I have to say, LNG has been wonderfully flexible through the past 36 months, 24 months. You can supply those vessels to markets when they need them. Not enough, as it turns out, but it's there. US LNG exports are at record levels right now, just as an example. And you can turn them off and you can keep them back when we don't need them, like we didn't need them at the height of the pandemic, right? So LNG is flexible. It's just not infinite. And it is expensive to build, and there is a limit to that capacity. So LNG is delivered on its promise as a piece of the supply mix, but it's not quite the baseload supply that a pipeline gas market really is. Gas coming in by tanker versus gas coming in by pipeline, that's the bit that should be flexible, but not the bit you rely upon the most at the end of the day. And that's what we're really learning here.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.